What's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all coming here and checking out this video. Hopefully y'all have been doing okay during these unusual times that we've been experiencing here lately. Myself, I've just been hanging out with family a bit more. I've actually started to stream as well consistently over on Twitch. I don't know if you guys follow me over on that, but if you haven't, consider giving my Twitch a follow. I have a link down below in the description. Sorry about a little bit of the inconsistent uploads here lately. I promise I'll be back on the grind soon. I actually have something planned tomorrow or the next day of talking to some PvP content creators and just discussing what Bethesda could possibly do to get more players involved. And also, we just discussed PvP in general for quite some time. I feel like it's just something different to touch base on. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be coming here soon on my channel. Can't wait for y'all to check that out. But yeah, in this video I'm just going to be clearing up a bit of confusion over some past videos that I have made. And not to mention, I'm going to be showing you this new PvP fight arena that I just recently made. And within this fight arena, we're going to be doing like themed fights in it. Such as, for example, all of us will be using bows against one another, drills against one another, and we'll also be popping Rad-X's before the fights so none of us have mutations. Basically, we're just going to be making up our own themed fights within this arena. And I actually streamed experiencing this for the first time last night, and it was a lot of fun. I'm going to be streaming experiencing this again sometime soon. But yeah, I guess first off, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of the confusion that's been coming around my channel. First off, I just want to make it clear that I don't care if you guys target me with a nuke. I made my camp in a nukeable area for a reason. As you can see, I'm going to show you all real quick where my camp is at. It's up here, right by the compass. And once again, it's in a nukeable area for a reason. I'm not going to get butthurt if you target me. Typically, I do stay in when a nuke is targeting me, but sometimes I will back out if I'm in like the middle of something or I just don't want to nuke at that moment in time. But typically, I do stay in. As you can see, actually, my camp just got nuked recently. That's the reason why there's no like railings on the side of these upper floors. Which, by the way, upper floors don't get destroyed when you nuke them. You gotta do staircases. And also, this is really cool, the flags don't get destroyed either. I have to say that is really cool of Bethesda to add that little feature. American flags don't get destroyed from nukes. Respect, Bethesda. That's some respect right there. But yeah, other things around in your camp will. I have repaired a few things, but I haven't repaired everything. But yeah, once again, my camp is right up here on the map. I was seeing players calling me a hypocrite, like, Rifle, why'd you make a video over some griefers harassing you and you blocked them after they nuked you? Like, seriously, that's being a hypocrite, Rifle. And I completely agree with you guys. That would make me a big hypocrite if I did just block them over me nuking them. But no, there's a little bit of confusion over that. That is not why I blocked them. They've been following me around for quite some time. Even before I made the Vigilantes video over us nuking some players' camps. They've been targeting me before that even. Some players were suggesting that's the reason why they started coming after me, and that's not the case. They have been targeting me for quite some time. What got me to block them was it was starting to get a bit annoying because when they would join into my game, which they had to have been waiting for a long time because there's typically a queue to join my game, so I don't know how long sometimes they were waiting to get into my game. But when they would get into my game, which was a lot, they would come after me with cryolators and nuka mine me, which, in case you don't know what I mean by nuka mine me, they would place the nuka mine and then they would shoot it so it would deal off radiation damage in that vicinity. And that's a way you can take out pacifist players if they aren't trying to PvP at the moment. And, well, I wasn't trying to PvP at the moment. I could have easily taken them out because I had a lot of players on my side. If I started shooting, a lot of these players would have also started shooting at them. It would have been a pretty huge warfare broke out right there. But I just decided to really just keep my composure and just blocked them after so long because they were continuing to cryolate me and nuka mine me, which that did get under my skin a bit. And by the way, in case you didn't know what I meant by cryolating, they would follow me around with a cryolator as well and freeze my character so I'd be really, really slow in the game. So it was just annoying for my gameplay, to be real with y'all. But yeah, after a while I just blocked them because I was just tired of them following me, to be completely honest with y'all. Just tired of them following me around and doing that. But yeah, after a while we actually talked and we're cool now, no biggie. I mean, they may still target my camp, they may nuke me occasionally, but they're not going to follow me around and freeze my character all the time or use these nuka mines on me when I'm not trying to fight at the moment. But anyways, moving on to something else that I've seen some players were a little bit confused about is my opinion over trap bases. I have nothing against trap bases. I don't. I'd be a hypocrite if I did have a problem with them because I've actually made 2 myself. One of them, it was for strictly a cinematic, so we didn't really trap any players, and I just helped my buddy make it. It was his camp, and I was just helping him put it together, and it was for a Cultist cinematic. You can actually check out that cinematic if you want. Just type in Fallout 76 Cultist cinematic, and well, it should pop up. If it doesn't, you can just simply go down into my camp building playlist and you should see that. But yeah, I helped my buddy make this little trap camp for this Cultist cinematic that we were putting together to make it seem like the Cultists were trapping people inside this cave. That's one trap base that I had made. Another trap base that I made was to show off this bloatfly exploit that was in the game, which, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, basically, there's this bloatfly syringer in the game, and when you shoot a target with that syringer and then kill that target that you shot with the syringer, it would spawn a bloatfly. And there was a trick by placing a fertilizer at your camp, which spawns a Brahmin, and we'd shoot that Brahmin with that bloatfly syringer and continue to spawn bloatflies over and over and over into our camp, and we'd enclose all the bloatflies in that little area, and it'd be a major acid farm. Like, you could get loads of acid from all these bloatflies. And in a sense, it kind of was a trap base, because when you go into that enclosed area, you're just going to be surrounded by hundreds of bloatflies. Now, I will be real with you guys, I didn't actually trap any players. I actually just made a cinematic with, once again, my buddies to showcase that this is something that could be used in the game. I didn't actually trap random players. And not to mention, it would be extremely hard to trap random players with these bloatflies because they just break the camp. Because there's so many of them, they just destroy the walls after so long. So it's kind of tough to keep them enclosed for a long time. But it was something that players could utilize as a farm to get tons of acid, or they could possibly make it into a trap camp. But it would be just really hard to trap players once again. But yeah, I have nothing against trap bases. I really don't. I feel like it takes a lot of creativity to make trap bases. And after all, if Bethesda really didn't want trap bases in the game, they wouldn't have added traps in our camp selection category, if you guys think about it. Like, I don't know. If Bethesda really truly didn't want trap bases to be in the game, they would not have actual traps that we could utilize in our camps. I mean, think about it. But the reason why I did say I would be targeting trappers in a previous video is because I just thought it'd be interesting for the vigilantes to target some trap bases. Because trap bases can take out players who are in pacifist mode, and, well, so can nukes. I feel like it's fair play in a sense. Now, of course, we're not going to be able to target trap bases that are in the protected zone, but if we see a trap base around in the game, we may target that trap base. And the vigilantes do have a code that we go by. If we do target any player in the game, we repair their camp, no matter what. No matter how toxic that player may be, no matter how much they end up taking us out after we target them, we will repair their camp. No matter what. That's just a code that we go by. We feel like it's like a respectful thing to do, of course. If we are going to nuke the player, the right thing to do would make it so they don't have to waste materials. And I know some of you may be thinking, Rifle, don't repair their base, dude. You're being too soft on that point. You're being too soft. You just let it go. Let them waste their materials. Nah, I can't. We can't do that. We thought about it. We talked about it. And the conclusion was, it's just going to be our thing. That's just our code. So yeah, keep that in mind. And also, there's always the protected zone. If you don't want to have a chance at your camp being targeted whatsoever by a nuke, just make your camp in a protected zone. And in the end, if you are being targeted, keep in mind that the whole game is alerted. There is a loud sound that goes off, letting everyone know that a nuke is about to be dropping. Every time a nuke goes off, the whole server is warned. So you have 2 minutes to just back out if you don't want your camp nuked. It's as simple as that. And I don't blame you if you do. It doesn't mean like you're less of a person or something if you back out. Not whatsoever. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people out there that aren't going to be repairing your camp if they do target you. And I know there are quite a bit of people out there that just have a bit of fun with nuking other players' camps. Also, another topic that I wanted to get into, I was seeing some people saying that I was just basically bullying players. And that is something that I don't want to be. I don't want to be a bully. I really don't. That's the reason why, for one, I'm choosing to repair their camps. And for two, I am super cautious on who I am targeting. If I realize that a player may have accidentally did a simple mistake by selling purified water for game value, when we know purified water isn't worth what? What's game value for purified water? Like 25 caps. We know purified water isn't worth that. But that could be an honest, simple mistake. Also, selling the Ultrasight power armor plans that we get from the Scorched Beast Queen. You know, they're worth quite a bit, but they're not really worth that much. that is also an honest, simple mistake. I'm definitely cautious on who I'm targeting. If I see a player that is trying to highball players with some like junk item, for instance, that's the reason why I made the Fallout 76 rare junk item video. One of the reasons why, anyways, is because I was starting to see them being sold in players' camps for ridiculous amounts. We can just simply go to a spot in the game and pick them up. But people were thinking, I guess there was something more than just a junk item. I mean, yeah, it's cool and all, you can display them in your camp, but they're not worth like 5,000 to 10,000 caps. I was seeing scorched body part jars going for like 5 to 10k. I don't know if you all have ever seen that. I don't know if you all have ever seen expensive junk items, but it's a thing. The really rare junk items, I've seen players selling them for a ridiculous amount. And those are players that know what they're doing. They're trying to take advantage of players that aren't aware of those items in the game, and they're not really worth that much. You just got to know the game a bit more and where things are located. Also, another thing I've seen going for extreme amounts is propaganda flyers. Propaganda flyers. I've seen them going to 500 to 2,000 caps each. And those do absolutely nothing. Once again, you could display them in your camp, but that's about as far as you're getting with those propaganda flyers. Now, when players are like selling toilet paper for a ridiculous amount, that's clearly a joke. And if someone's really going to buy some toilet paper for that much, I mean, come on. Come on. A lot of players know the toilet paper isn't truly worth 15k. I understand why players are making toilet paper expensive, because, well, it's just kind of like an inside joke with what we've been going through here lately. Toilet paper was just sold out everywhere. It sucked. It really did. Especially if you have kids. It sucked. I'm not going to lie. Everywhere was just sold out with toilet paper. But yeah, I can understand why players are doing that though. Just a bit of fun they're having in game with other players. I can tell a joke from something serious. Please keep that in mind. I'm not nuking everybody that has high prices. I've also learned something recently. Some players that are selling things for 30k, that doesn't really make sense why they're selling it for 30k. Sometimes that player that is selling that for 30k actually bought 30,000 caps online from another site, and they're waiting for that person from another site to go there and buy that so they can receive the 30k caps. I've heard of some transactions happening like that. I'm not saying everybody that is selling things for 30k is doing that. Please don't think that. Please. I'm not saying everybody out there is doing that. But that was told to me by a few players, and it seems pretty logical. Also, another thing that was told to me by other players, another reason why people may put something up for trade for 30k is to keep their vending machine on and active. They're just thinking no one's going to have 30k to just spend, and not to mention they're not going to be able to receive 30k in their inventory, because as we know, 30k is max and you can't really go over the max limit in a sense. So that's another thing. I'm from now on not going to be targeting players I see that are selling items for 30k. The players that my team and I are going to be targeting are players that are trying to highball players, like I just mentioned, selling junk items for a ridiculous amount of caps. And these junk items are just more rare to find around the map, and that's the reason why they're selling them for that much. And in the end, you can just go there in the game and pick them up. But another example are the chess pieces that you find at the frat house. These chess pieces are named like king, queen, and stuff like that. I've seen them being sold for 1 to 5k each, and you find 32 of these chess pieces in one area. So imagine the profit that some players are getting out of those items when you can just simply go to this area and pick them right up. I mean, and in the end, you know, they have the right to do that. It's part of the game. It's part of the game to set your prices how you want to set them. It's also part of the game to make a trap base. We have the trap category in our camp selection to add traps in our bases if we want. It's also part of the game to nuke in the nukeable zone. You know, players are allowed to nuke anywhere in the nukeable zone. However, players can't nuke in the non-nukeable area, which is the green zone. So yeah, in the end, if you feel like you may be a target in the future or something, just make your camp in the protected zone. You don't have to worry about it whatsoever. And also keep in mind, if you are targeted, please keep in mind, we're going to repair your camp. Can't vouch for maybe other people that may target you, but the Vigilante's code is to repair the camp if they are targeted. That is something that I feel like is a respectful thing to do. It's just something to do out of respect. Oh, and by the way, just real quick, I will be making a future video over this, but if you're trying to learn prices, I highly recommend to check out the Fallout 76 trading forums, which you can find them on Facebook, Reddit, and heck, maybe even Twitter. I know Facebook and Reddit are great Fallout 76 trading forums that you can check out, and you'll start to get used to what people are pricing things if you just pay attention. At the moment, caps really don't have much of a value just because there's a major duplication glitch recently, which a lot of people duplicated holiday gifts, and now they're just maxed out on caps. But yeah, the Fallout 76 Facebook trading forum is great, and also on Reddit, the Fallout 76 marketplace. And also something else to check out is fed76.info. fed76.info. This is actually a site that helps you price your Fallout 76 items. Now, please keep in mind all of this on the site isn't completely 100% accurate, but it kind of gives you a roundabout price of what to typically charge things. Keep in mind, not everything on here, once again, is accurate. So use that site with caution. Which, by the way, real quick, if you guys are curious on what to price things, feel free to jot it down below in the comments, and maybe I can make a future video helping players know what typically these go for. Of course, the economy is always switching up. Like I just mentioned, caps aren't really worth much, but please leave some down below in the comment section if you got this far in the video, and let me know some prices you are curious about of what to charge in your vending machine. But yeah, hopefully that helps clear up some things a bit over the series that I may continue. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to continue this quite yet or not. There's a lot of positivity that is telling me to continue it, but there's also quite a bit of negativity that has started surrounding me. There's a lot of confusion over it, I feel like, too. Once again, that's the reason why I'm making this video, to kind of clear up some things. And I'm not positive if I am going to continue it or not. But yeah, anyways, I now want to show you this camp that I've been working on that I'm actually starting to stream. It's a PvP fight arena. I'm hopping on my other character right now as we speak. I'll pull up my screen here in a bit, but yeah, within this fight arena, we're going to be having themed fights. Like, all of us be using bows, all of us be using drills, all of us will be using chainsaws, whatever the people want us to all use, we'll use. Heck, even protest signs. And before the fight, so far, we have made sure that everyone uses Radexes, so there's no mutations within the fight as well. And no player can heal as well within the arena. And not to mention the stealth boys, etc. We kind of handicap the arena in a sense to make it more balanced for all players to enjoy. Alrighty, so anyways, here's the camp. When we first walk in, this is where the people can get their drinks at and whatnot for the fight. Too bad there's nothing on the display shelves anymore because of the duplication glitch. There used to be some Nuka-Colas and some alcohol beverages on there. Anyways, here's where players can watch from at the bottom. There's also going to be PvP fights on this wire here from one cliffside to the other. That's why I chose this spot. In general, I wanted to see fights on this wire. 1v1s. I think that would be really interesting. Like, both players have chainsaws and they go at one another or something. I don't know. Definitely takes some coordination. And up above us is the arena. Let me go ahead and head on in there so you guys can check that out. Oh geez, I need to eat and drink real quick. Okay, so right here would actually be the arena. It's where you enter at. But at the moment the door is locked. And here's where you would get things set up for the fight. Weapons workbench, tinkers, and some lockers and whatnot in there. Then at the very top floor up here is where you can spectate to watch the fights. As you can see, you cannot walk off this little opening here. I know, it kind of seems like you could just jump right into the fight, but you can't. But yeah, down there is actually the arena. And to open up that door that was locked down there, I have to, whoops, that's the wrong one. I have to press this one, and that should open up the door down below. That switch in the center opened up the garage doors on each side, which is where the players start at. For instance, if you're red team, you're going to be over there on the red wall. If you're blue team, you're going to go over there on the blue side. And yeah, the garage doors will open up at the exact same time to keep it fair. And spectators can also mess around with traps down in the arena. As you can see, I got 2 flamethrower traps down there, and you can flip this switch right here and it'll activate those traps. But at the moment they are destroyed, so they didn't activate there. Okay, so here's the arena. I do have some open spaces to make the match more interesting, and if you fall out of the arena whatsoever, you're out. Even if you don't die, you cannot come back into the arena. You are completely out. It's kind of like Super Smash Bros. In a way. Once you fall to your death in a sense. But sometimes you do live the falls. We actually had a match where one player on each side wore power armor and the rest just, you know, used Under Armour. Which, by the way, that's another thing that we utilize. We make sure we're in Under Armour so people can tell that we're not using legendary armor pieces and whatnot. We keep that kind of fair too. Also, I made sure I put the corners with openings too, so no player can just sit there and camp too hard. I have the corners where players can fall to their death easily, and I have a top center control where players can try to take advantage of and rain down fire on the other team. A bit of upper advantage up here to take control of. But yeah, that's really what's going on in this arena. It's been a lot of fun. We've so far done bow matches. We did a drill match. We all had boxing gloves for one match. I don't know. So far, we've had a blast just having a bit of fun with some PvP and trying to make it as balanced as we possibly can in the open world. Yeah, if you want to check out some of these fights, once again, I'll be streaming them over on my Twitch. Feel free to give that a follow. I'll have a link to it down below in the description. But yeah, I guess that's wrapping up this video, everybody. Hopefully you found this enjoyable, and also it kind of helped clear up a bit of confusion. I'm out of here, though, everybody. Thanks for taking the time, watching, and listening. Until next time, remember to try to stay safe out there. Peace.